This time I'm going to connect this dishwasher to Home Assistant. But why? So I recently got a new dishwasher, this Bosch thing here, and it came with Wi-Fi connectivity. And initially I thought, why? What's the point? So Bosch that makes this says, whoa, you can start and stop it remotely, and you know where it's at in its program. But yeah, but I don't care, right? It's like I don't need to know where the dishwasher is at. I press the start button and it starts. There's a timer on there. I can start it delayed. Like, I'm not sure why I needed it. And then I thought a bit more about it, and I thought, oh, yeah, but my inner nerd really wants to put it onto Home Assistant, so is there a way? And it turns out that there is. So I'm going to connect it to Home Assistant using the Home Connect app and ecosystem API, which is what Bosch and Siemens use. It's called Home Connect, so it's an app that I use on my phone, so we'll set that up. And the reason I want to put it in Home Assistant is that if you use something like pods, so for example, I have these dishwashing pods here. If I knew how many of these I have, well, then I can count down, can't I? So every time that says stop on here and I've used one, well, for example, and I can know how many I've got left and when I need to buy new ones, for example. So that's part of the reason I want to do it, and I'll explore the integration and everything. But first, let's hook this thing up to the Wi-Fi, because, yeah, why would you not want more things on your Wi-Fi? So the first thing is, of course, to install Home Connect, and I'm on my Android phone here in the Play Store. Pretty simple, just search for Home Connect Bosch, and you'll find this app. Install it and open it. So once you've opened it, you get the usual sort of introduction, infinite possibilities. Really? Is it? Anyway, go through those steps, just press next, 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 and you will get to the actual home screen where we can start setting things up. So yep, make your activities easier. Yeah, sometimes. Anyway, make sure you read all these statements, start the show, and here it is. So obviously I got to start by adding, but in order to do that, you need to register. So when you click Add Appliance, and then click New Appliance, it'll say, hey, you need to log in. So I'm going to click on Register. And then because this app, for some reason, really takes security serious, you cannot screen record any of the forms of any kind. But anyway, at least I get the terms and conditions in German. So for some reason, it's chosen Germany as my country. I didn't have a choice anywhere. But anyway, here they all are in German. So make sure you read those, I guess, and then accept them and continue. And there's another one, another statement here, also in German, that you need to read and accept. Thank you, Bosch. This is great. Anyway, not that any of us ever read these things, so they might as well be in German. Continue. Again, would you like to receive this information? And it's also not to receive said information, and just click continue. So, yeah, it said I couldn't find anywhere to change that, but anyway, I don't think it matters too much. It all worked out, as you'll see. Just gotta confirm my email address. There it is. E-Mail-Adresse berechtigen. Yeah, or whatever it's. You confirm your email address, and then your account is good to go. So actually adopt my dishwasher into the Home Connect app. So hallelujah. And I gotta log in here with Home Connect, which I've just set up. So you'll see this dialog again a bit later. And yeah, and then have your Wi-Fi ready. Yep, sure. It is ready. Stay close to the appliance. So it connects via Bluetooth to start with, and that's how it transfers the Wi-Fi details to it. So you got to be reasonably close. Yes, allow Home Connect to use Bluetooth. Loading, loading, loading. So now it searches for applications, or sorry, for appliances rather. Mine didn't actually show up, so I had to go and add. So it says add another appliance. So let's identify. You're going to scan the QR code, which is on the top of my dishwasher here. So you'll see the image here in a second. There's the QR code. Real quick, it acknowledges that, and then it finds it, no problem. So that worked just fine. And then now I have to pair it. So here's some instructions on this particular device. So I had to actually hold that pairing button, the remote control button. I had to hold it in while I'm connecting on the phone. So that might be different from device to device or appliance to appliance. But yeah, again, transferring Wi-Fi credentials. Again, I couldn't record any of the forms. Not that that matters too much. So that's kind of nice to see the app is sort of taking that part of security serious. So there you go. Anyway, that's now registering the appliance on my account so I can control it through the app. And there we go. Congratulations, you've paired Dishwasher. Oh, thank you. So that's the process of getting it on board. It's pretty easy. If you already have an account, it's really, even easier. And then there's some settings here that are appliance specific, such as how much rinse aid do I want to use? Do I want extra dry dishes if I have problems with, as says, plastic parts? I don't know, but you can put these in there. And I'm going to call this the Melwood Dishwasher and then click next, and then I am good to go. Oh, hang on, there's a remote control level. So this is how you want to remote control it. Permanent remote start means I can always do it from the app, which is again Home Assistant, so I'm going to do that. And that's it. And now I have an appliance. Yay, look at that. I have a Melwood Dishwasher right there under my appliances. So I can go and have a look at that. Now this says software download in progress. Yes, it did actually update the firmware on my dishwasher. So there you go. I've since updated firmware on light bulbs as well, and now dishwashers. So yay! Power, you can turn power on and off. There's a few notifications there if you want to, look at those. It'll tell you the door's open. Close the door. You can't you can't start the dishwasher until you close the door, for example. And then there's a few quick actions. I can put the child-proof lock on or off from the app. That's kind of neat. That might be nice. And then the thing that I wanted to actually do in Home Assistant as an idea, which is counting the pods, this app already does that. So if I scroll over the quick actions a little bit, you can see here there's a tablets action, and that actually can keep track of how many pods you need. However, that doesn't get it into Home Assistant, but the feature is there. So that might be something you want to use. All right, let's get this into Home Assistant. All right, so we've paired the dishwasher with the app. We've created an account on the app, which is important because we're going to need those account details. So now I have my dishwasher on my Wi-Fi. Great, I think. This is all a bit weird. Anyway, so Home Assistant has here, as you see on the screen, has a Home Connect integration. Home Connect is the platform that Samsung and Bosch, not Samsung, Siemens and Bosch are using for their appliances. So we're going to try and integrate that with Home Assistant. And of course, there are some steps here to go through. So it says here the integration will add one Home Assistant device for each connected home appliance, which will have the following entities, etc., etc., etc. Now the prerequisites. So I'm going to go to developer.homeconnect.com and sign up for a developer account. And then, because we're going to need that, we're going to need an API key, obviously, to have Home Assistant talk to the exact appliances that I have on my account. So let's go and sign up for a developer account. How do we do that? There we go, sign up. At least there's a big sign up button. Sometimes they hide that. Yep. Default Home Connect user account for testing. I'm just going to put in my email address, I think. To specify Home Connect user account can be used with the applications during the development phase. I'm assuming we're just going to use the developer account with Home Assistant. I don't think we're going to publish anything. So, a username, I usually use L. Clint. And an email address is going to be the same thing again, I guess. A valid email address. All emails with the system were sent to the address. Okay, and a new password. Okay, country region. It's going to be Australia. Account type. Community or individual. I'm going to go with just individual. I don't have an open source project for this. Programming experience. What? What does that mean? Many? Reference projects. I'll just put in my thing. I don't know. Oh, that's the website. What? I don't know what reference projects are. What, repos or GitHub or I made LlamaCam. I don't know where this is gonna go. Sync to China. Sure. No. Okay. I don't want to send newsletter. I confirm. I comply. Sure. And then I got to put in the very, very difficult thing here. Okay, I think this is it. Let's see what happens when I try and sign up. Aha. Alright, so now I've signed up and I'm getting a welcome message to my email. I'm assuming that's going to allow me to sign in. Can I just sign in? Is that going to work? Username L Clint, password that. Sign in. It's not been activated. Okay, so I open up. So here's the email I've got. That's there. Home to Connect Developer Program, dear Lars, yada yada yada. Please verify the account. Okay, I'm going to verify the account. Alright, you've just used your one-time login link. Your account is now active and you are authenticated. Great. Well, that's good. That's a nice step. You want to authenticate people, not just make up. Time zone. I just saw that. Nope, I'm Australia, Melbourne. That's my time zone. Let's just see what next step was. So I have signed up for developer account. Enter the email of your login for the original Home Connect app from Bosch Siemens on the default Home Connect user account for testing. I did. That's exactly what I did. If I've read the steps first, that would have made sense. Under Applications, register a new app. Applications, register application. Application ID, Home Assistant, whatever makes sense to you. Yeah, I'm happy to call it Home Assistant. That's okay. Auth flow, authorization code grant flow. Is that the one? Yep, that's the one we're using. Redirect URI. Whoop. That's going to be Home Assistant URL auth external. So yeah, mine just sits at there. Actually, it sits on Home Assistant local, doesn't it? It does. So I'm going to use that. Let's just double check that. Actually, I don't use local, so that's all right. So here's my Home Assistant. Da-da-da. All right. Going to get back to that in a minute. So that's going to be redirect URI here. I'm just going to get rid of local because mine actually doesn't use that. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Alright, so I have now a Home Assistant application, client IDs, client secrets, yep. Alright, so I'm going to go to my configuration.yaml file, so that's under my file editor here, and I'm going to copy this in here, this bit of YAML, okay, like so. So we have client ID, client secret, and I'm assuming that just comes from there. Home Connect client ID. So that's here. And client secret, which would be there. Great. Okay, really long strings. Save that. Okay. So now I probably need to restart Home Assistant, I'd say. So I'm going to go and restart it. And this just changed in this new version of Home Assistant. So I now have to go to System and then up the top right it says Restart. It took me forever to find that the first time. So Restart, I was looking through all the different menus like where have they put the damn Restart? But it was just up there. So restarting, be back in a sec. And we're back, we have restarted. Okay, so now I think, let me just try and go into my integrations here. So if I go to integrations, I should have a Home Connect. Is it already there, actually? No. So putting that into the configuration, sometimes that just adds it when you put it in the configuration YAML through magic. So Home Connect is here. Okay, unauthorized client. Right. Request rejected by client authorization authority developer portal. Right. So it's not letting me connect. Right. Okay. Quick edit here. I just couldn't figure out why. It turned out that those, the client ID and the client secret needs to be in quotation marks. They are strings in the configuration.yaml. Right. So I've added quotation marks around them. And we should be good now. So I'm going to try again and go to Home Connect here like this. It should open up and they're going to ask me to log in, right? So I'm going to log in with Home Connect, which is the same credentials that I used on the phone. Or not. Okay, so Home Assistant would like to. So now granting the Home Connect called Home Assistant, we are granting that access to the account that I used to adopt the Bosch dishwasher with. Got it? I'm going to approve that. I can say identify, control, monitor. Sure. Approve that. It's going to go back to Home Assistant. So that was the callback URL. that we added before for the application, that was what just happened. So now what's going to, okay, success. Oh, it found one. So we have a Merlewood dishwasher, which is the name I gave it. Home Connect, one device. Let's go to our device and have a look at the dishwasher. Oh, wow. There's a lot of stuff here. Look at all the controls I've got. Program Magic Daily. Ooh, I like that one. But anyway, I can turn all this on now through Home Assistant. So this is actually more than I thought. Door is open, duration, so that's how far it's got to go. Operation state. Wow, this is really cool. I didn't expect to get this many properties, sensors, and controls for it, if I'm honest. I must admit, I did not expect this. So this is kind of cool. But what I could do now is, for example, I could say, well, operation state inactive. So when it goes from active to inactive, that means it stops, for example. I could use that event to count down my dishwashing capsules or pods, right? For example, I can see if the door is open. Maybe you want to know when the dishwasher is being opened. The duration, so that could be, you can time things based on how long the duration, how long you've got left. There's actually a lot of options that I can think of here and how to use this with automation, right? So again, I was skeptical. Why would I want to put my Bosch dishwasher on the Wi-Fi and then into Home Assistant? But I've actually got a lot of choice. I've got a lot of things that I can play with. However, there is one automation I think we can do, and that is if the dishwasher has finished and no one's emptied it after some time, well, alert us. I can use the operation state that you see on the screen here, and I can use the door. Now, I can't tell if they actually emptied it without, obviously, camera or something, but we can get close enough. So if the door hasn't been opened for some time after it's finished, well, we can alert someone. So if I go to the documentation for Home Connect, I'm here on the operation state documentation. I can see the possible values are all these. So I'm going to assume that if it goes from run to finished, well, the program is finished and we can start our timer. And if the door isn't open in that timer period, well, then we alert someone. So let's try and do that. Now I'm going to use the UI in Home Assistant for creating the automation rather than YAML. It's just a little bit easier to explain it that way. So I'm going to create a new automation. It's going to be an empty automation to start with. And I'm going to call this dishwasher unemptied. I think that's probably the best one. And the trigger is then going to be a state. And the state is for the entity called dishwasher. So we should find that. There we go. Washer operation state, which is right there. There we go. And then I'm going to go, it's going to go from run, which was when it's running, to finished. So if home automation sees that it goes from that state to that state, you know, from run to finished, as we say, oh, it's capitalized. I should probably just make it capitalized, I believe, because that's what it is there. All right. Well, we better make it right. Then, so that's when we trigger it. It goes from run to finished, right? And actually, we can have a for 2 hours. So it has to be finished for 2 hours. Let's say, or let's do 1 hour. I'm not that patient. And then we're going to add a condition because what was it? We know the door has to be closed, right? Which will be the dishwasher. And condition is the door is closed. Like that, right? So now, okay, so the only flaw in this, but I'll live for that for now. You can maybe let me know in the comments how I fixed this, but if someone opened the dishwasher and closed it, right? Then after an hour, it's still closed. Then it will still trigger. But for now, bear with me, this will do just fine for now. And I'm going to have call a service. This service is going to be notification. So here's my Pixel 5 notification, send a notification via mobile app Pixel 5. And message is empty the damn dishwasher. Exclamation mark, probably appropriate. And we can give it a title. Dishwasher is unemptied, which I'm sure it's a word. And I'm going to save that. Oops, save that automation like so. And then if I really want to see this, I can see this in YAML, so I can go up here and edit it in YAML just to see what that looks like. Ah, there we go. So I'm not sure this should be in quotation marks. I think I'm just going to go, because it's already putting that in there, so I'm just going to edit that, because I think it's now saying string within a string. That's probably not right. So I'm just going to save that again and go back to the editor. And we can see here that I've removed those run to finish. So it obviously adds those automatically. I often get those wrong. No big deal. There we go. So now I have an automation that will alert me if the dishwasher is unemptied for an hour. Bar from if you open and close. Anyway, so I think that works. So I hope that's useful. At least that's an automation. Maybe let me know in the comments. There you go. I've added my Bosch dishwasher to Home Assistant using the Home Connect app, the Home Connect developer portal, and an application within the portal that I've given access to my account on the app. Bit convoluted, but anyway, that's how it works. I hope that was useful. If you've got any other ideas of how I can use my dishwasher now for automation ideas, I'm all ears. Put them in the comment. And if you like the content, please do subscribe, give it a like, etc. Thumbs up. And I really hope that I will see you in the next video. And thanks for watching. Bye.